Okay.
Use your voice.
All right. If you all can mute yourselves.
Great.
Emily, what? Okay. Emily, is somebody on your computer?
I'm not, no,
Or you're on your phone too?
trying to, yeah, I'm going to tell Chelsea how to get on with her phone later. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, why do I see two Emilys? This is really weird. What's going on? Okay. So everybody is muted, so we should be good there. Okay, so welcome to tonight's team call, you guys. I am Corey Mayo, your CEO of Team Living Healthy and Fit. It is Wednesday, December 16th of 2015. So Christmas is like a week away. Who's excited for that? Yeah.
Got
it. Yay, there she is. Okay, there should be when you tap your screen in the bottom left-hand corner, you should be able to mute yourself. If not, I can mute you. Do you see that? Yep, that a girl. Okay, perfect. Okay, so tonight's call, I would like to talk about challenge groups. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go into a screen share so that we can look at some slides here. Can everybody see those okay? Yep, okay, cool. Okay, so first I would like to congratulate our leaders for this month so far. We have myself at Success Club 10, Paul Mayo Jr. at Success Club 4, Chelsea Heinlein at Success Club 2. So great job, you guys. I know that it's only mid part of the month, so keep inviting, keep reaching out to people, and if nothing else, you're building your list. Like, this is the hardest time of year, right? Because everybody's focused on eating junk food and indulging a little bit over the holidays and packing on some pounds. And then come the first of the year, they're going to be like, oh my God, what did I do to myself? I feel like crap. I'm super overweight. I need to get this fluff off. My pants don't fit. And they're going to go into this panic. So what you need to be doing now is really reaching out to those people and making your list ready for the first of the year, so that when those people are ready, you are the person that pops in their brain, that you're the one that has been reaching out to them. You're the one that's connecting with them and building a relationship with them and being genuine and getting to know that person, so that they have trust and they can open up to you and be like, okay, well, I'd like to work on this. Because let's be honest, you guys, people don't just open up to anybody, right? Like, especially when it comes to weight loss, it's kind of a scary thing. So just keep reaching out and building those relationships with people. It is going to pay off in the long run. So I will go ahead and get into the meat of our call. So with challenge groups, just do it. Set a start date and a registration closing date. Invite. Follow up with previous no's. So keep a follow-up list. When those people say no, they just mean no, not right now. And then ask a fellow team member to go in on a group with you. So if you're afraid that you aren't going to be able to manage a group by yourself, ask somebody else to do it with you. That's okay. Like, nobody ever said you have to completely do this by yourself, okay? So some of the fears that some of you may be facing, or that I know that I faced when I was starting a group, and sometimes I still face that when I'm starting a group, is no one will say yes to me to a challenge pack, and nobody will want to be in the group. My group will become a dud, or there'll be no posting and nobody's interacting with the group, and it's crickets. Or I don't know what to post or what to share with people, right? So do those sound like pretty fair, like fears of why you may not be starting your own challenge group, or what's holding you back from starting the group? I'm guessing that number one is probably the biggest one, is that you're afraid that nobody is going to say yes. Have any of you ever heard, if you build it, they will come? It's true, you guys. Like, if you put the date in place, they will come. And if nothing else, when I first started, if I didn't have a bunch of people on board that were saying yes, guess what I would do? I would say, hey, do you have a copy of whatever, P90X, Insanity, 21 Day Fix, whatever, just sitting on the shelf collecting dust, and you want to get back to it? Get those people involved and get them in their group, because they're going to become customers, and they're going to invest in you as you invest in them, okay? So that's the worst case scenario. So I'm going to go over each of these individually with each slide here. Okay, so going over our fears, I kind of just addressed the no one will say yes if we are, okay, so no one will say yes if we're not asking, right? So if you ask a question, if you ask them to join you in a challenge group, to participate in the challenge group or to help keep you accountable too, that was something I did a lot when I first started, was join me. You know, like, I need somebody to help keep me accountable too. Let's work together and keep each other accountable. But if we don't ever ask the question, the answer is always going to be no. There's, at least when you do ask and you step out of that comfort zone and you get over that fear that they're going to say no, you have that 50-50 shot that they're going to say yes or no. Okay. Number 2, some groups will be better than others. I shared this not that long ago. In July, I think it was July, it was either June or July of this year, I had this group laid out. I thought it was going to be amazing. I had all the posts. It was a 30-day group, which was the first 30-day group I have done in quite a while. 30-day group, I thought it was going to be awesome. I had one girl who was a rock star. And she's still a rock star. She happens to be pregnant at the moment, so she's still doing her nutrition. But one person out of like 6 girls that posted every single day. So it still happens to me. It happened to me a lot in the beginning. It still happens to me now. But what I have learned through the process is you can Google images, you can look on Pinterest, like different mini challenges to set up throughout the week so that you get people engaging. You're asking them to post a picture of their food. You're asking them to post a picture of their water that they're drinking, a post-workout selfie, get somebody involved. If they get a family member involved, they get bonus points. Get people involved by throwing in these little mini challenges. Maybe you want them to do 5 burpees on top of their workout today. Who did it? Who got it done? You know, comment below. Another really successful thing is if you like reading books, chances are that your target market are going to enjoy reading books as well, because that's who you are. So you could read a book along with them, and each day you guys could discuss a chapter or 10 pages or whatever you're setting that you read per day together. Doing videos to get them engaged. So don't be afraid to get in front of the camera. Like, just say it, like, get on your phone and make a 60-second video and just be like, hey girls, like, how's everybody feeling? Something like that, just to ask a question, but put your face and your voice with it so it's more personal. Something that I really enjoy doing is positive affirmations, because a lot of times with challengers, they don't feel good about themselves. So putting daily affirmations in there to help boost them up, that personal development, right? That's what we work on a daily basis. And posting recipes, etc. Things like that. Things to get people involved. The next thing that I have learned, and something that's working extremely well for me for the last 4 months, is using a point system. I'm not going to lie, it is tedious, especially when you're doing the group by yourself. It is a little overwhelming at first to count all those points and make sure you don't miss anybody's posts. Karina probably feels me on this right now because she's helping me out with our group. It's a little overwhelming at first, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's also very beneficial because people see their number and how much they've been posting, and they're working towards a gift, and it gets them excited. It keeps them engaged. And really, once you get a rhythm down, it's not that big of a deal. I think that the first couple days is the hardest, and then honestly, you're going to have your handful of people that are striving forward and that are always posting, and you know you're looking for certain people to add to your list and to add to their points. So I strongly encourage, and you can set up your own point list. Like, who cares what it is? Mine happens to be, you get a point for engaging, you get a point for posting. You get, I think it's 3 points if you post like a motivational something in the group. You get 3 points if you post a post-workout selfie with a friend or family member and getting them involved. And then I have bonus points throughout the entire group. So that's definitely something to keep people engaged and to keep them going. And then number 3, I don't know what to share. It's an excuse, right? But that's about the lamest excuse ever, because I've personally created probably 6 to 8 different challenge group posts, documents for you girls. Like, it lays out from day 1 to day 21. It lays out day 1 to day 30 on the 30-day group, and they are all in our files of our group. So there's absolutely no reason. And if you don't like those, if you go into your Coach Online office, underneath marketing. Let me show you. I think it's business and marketing tools. On the left-hand side underneath that tab, it'll say Coach Challenge or Beachbody Challenge or something like that. That's taking too long to load. Beachbody Challenge or something like that. And right underneath there is posting scripts for every single one of the programs that we offer. So it's all there. Like, you really don't even have to do that much work. You just have to get the information and post it in your group. Okay, so that's something that's definitely very readily available to you. And to be honest with you guys, when I first started this, and everything I've learned through challenge groups, I've either watched other coaches or it's been trial and error through myself, because Kelly doesn't run challenge groups. Kelly ran one challenge group when I first started, before I even became a coach. And ever since then, I don't think she's done one. She might run like a coaching sneak peek or like coaching groups, but she still to this day just does one-on-one with her customers and coaches. She does not do challenge groups. So I've done a lot of trial and error, and this is what I have found to be successful. And this is what a lot of the other very successful coaches, hi buddy, have found to be successful as well. So, you know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just follow the process, okay? So as for just do it. So set a start date and a registration closing date. I can't stress this enough, because if you build it, they will come. So put it on the calendar, put it in your phone, write it down on your calendar, and make a start date for your challenge group. I encourage that you start at least one group every single month. And I don't encourage groups lasting longer than 30 days. Really, the perfect number is 21, to be perfectly honest with you. 21. I've tried the 30-day where you do a week of meal prep and then you do the 21-day challenge. And by the third week, it's really, really quiet. So I really like just doing the 21-day groups and then resetting and getting them into another group, okay? But it should be non-negotiable, because if Success Club and moving your business forward is non-negotiable for you, then starting one challenge group every single month should be non-negotiable. That's giving you something to invite people to. And then for me personally, my challenge groups start on the third Monday of every month. The reason for this is, on the first Monday of every month, we have our 5-day clean eating group. Okay, so that's inviting new people in to have a little taste of what we do, what we can provide to them, and earn their trust and start building that relationship with people. The second Monday is our coaching sneak peek. So again, same thing. You're inviting new people into the opportunity of the coaching world to see what we do as coaches and what we can offer them and build the trust and the relationship with them. So the third Monday, that's giving us time to register those people and get them enrolled either as challengers or as coaches, so that we've already built that relationship with them. We're not just shooting blind and asking somebody we just met yesterday to join us in a challenge group. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen if the conversation's flowing and somebody's really passionate about health and fitness or really wants to make some changes. That does happen. But for the most part, you're going to be building a relationship with that person for, 5 to 7 days before you're actually inviting them into a group. So that's why I do it. That doesn't mean that you have to do it that way. I know that Manny Watkins, who's a very successful multi-star diamond coach underneath Meg Wazinski, she makes her challenge group. I don't know what day her challenge group starts, but she makes every single one of her challengers that are giving her a yes register on the very first of every month. So that way she's guaranteed to hit Success Club 10 the very first of every month. That might work for you. I personally, that makes me a little leery. Like, if somebody is ready to get started right now, I'm not going to make, like, let's say they said yes today on the 16th. I'm not going to make them wait almost another 15 days to register. It works for her though. She takes the chance that those people are going to walk away because she's talking to enough people. She's inviting enough people. But for me, I know that when I wanted to get started, I wanted to get started right away. Like, that fire and that excitement was inside me right away. So I want to help those people get plugged into something as soon as possible, right? So that's why I do the third Monday of every month for my challenge groups. And then registration should close 7 to 10 days before the start date. I used to say 7 to 10 days. I used to say 7 days. And then with the warehouse being moved, there's some growing pains right now with the business, and that's okay. It's a good thing, and it will be a good thing in the long run. But there are some growing pains and things that are taking a little bit longer to ship than normal. So I say 10 days now. But the amazing thing now is with Beachbody On Demand, I had some girls that registered on Friday and started in my group on Monday because we have everything available on Beachbody On Demand. The only thing that they didn't have was their containers, right? But we know what the measurements are for those. So they have access to the meal plan and all the recipes and everything on demand, just like they would if they had the hard copy in front of them. So we can get them plugged in with the amount of calories that they need, the amount of containers they need to be eating, and give them the rations of what each color-coded container is so that they can get started right away and not have to wait until their package comes. They can stream their videos and get their workouts done along with everybody else. The only thing they're going to be missing is their Shakeology for their first couple days. But honestly, those people, if they're registering that late, they're ready to just get started. So that's not going to be a big hang up for them. So that you have that option as well, okay? Okay, so invite. So what does inviting look like, or what can it look like? Something that's been huge for our team, I think, and that I've started doing very consistently is creating a Facebook event, not a group, because the group is what the challengers go into. Creating a Facebook event and making sure it's public, okay? I like to make them a good 3 to 4 weeks before, so that we can post in it, we can get some interaction, you can invite your friends to it, see who is excited about what you're offering, and you can reach out to those people personally. So basically it's narrowing down your contact list, right? The people that you should be following up with at the moment. The people that are showing interest and maybe are afraid to reach out to you personally, but they have interest there or something striking a chord with them. So you guys, making a Facebook event is super, super easy. I'm not going to show you how to do that, but you can do it. Just make sure it's a public event, because when it's a public event, what happens is every time that somebody says that they're going or that they're interested, that pops up in their friends' news feeds. So you could very easily be gaining referrals and customers with never even asking. So it's a brilliant way to get yourself out there and to get more people involved. And something else I just started doing, I should say as well, is I am posting 3 times per day, morning, afternoon, and evening, just like I do on my page in the event, so that that event is constantly popping back up in people's news feeds. People are engaging it. When they like a picture, when they comment on it, again, that goes into their friends' news feeds, okay? Posting, inviting posts on your page. Okay. So this is basically like a blanket post where you're inviting people to either join you or to be a part of your challenge group on your personal page, like you're just making a normal post. So ways that this is really successful is using a before and after, or I encourage you to use a good selfie. And the reason for using a good selfie is because Facebook loves them, and it'll go into infinity like that. And so many more people will see your post than if you just make a blank post with no picture at all, or if you make it like a collage or something like that. Either a clean selfie or a before and after. And a before and after should just be a side-by-side. If you like collages, that's perfectly fine. I personally do not use them because they look too gummed up to me, and they don't get people's. You got to think about how fast people are scrolling through Facebook. You got to think about what's going to stop them in their tracks, what's going to stop them to make them read the post. The other thing that is going to be really helpful with things like this is breaking your posts up. So I'm just going to go to my page really quick here and show you kind of what I mean. So when you start a post, just do a one-liner. See how it's just one line and then broken up, small, individual. Okay, so funny thing really quick. I made this post an hour ago, and it had 3 likes, and one of them was my husband, so he doesn't count. And now it's got 6 likes in just, what, 20 minutes or whatever, 6 or 7 likes, because I changed the picture to it. Proof that the picture matters. But I always open up with either a hashtag or a one-liner or asking a question, okay? Because that is what's going to grab people's attention when you're making a post. Instead of, you know, having this really long paragraph, you want to try and get their attention to get them to stop scrolling. If the picture doesn't stop them, you want that first sentence or that hashtag that's maybe catchy or something like that to stop them in their tracks, okay? I strongly discourage posting pictures of your Shakeology, of your program, of you holding a Shakeology shaker cup. I know a lot of you know this, but we do have some new coaches on our team. And the reason I discourage that is because people look at that as a sales ad, and they're not going to read your post. They don't care if you're generally trying to help them or if you have something really good to say. They're just going to do this and keep scrolling. Unless they're a really good friend of yours and they're maybe interested in what you're doing. It's not going to be catchy, and they're just going to keep scrolling. And the other thing is, too, is if they are interested in it, they don't need you now. At least they don't think that they do. They don't know that they're going to be more successful in a challenge group or with a coach. They're going to see the product and go, oh, I'm going to go to Amazon and get this bad boy or whatever. And then you totally lose out in connecting with that person and helping them. And they would probably have, it's like 95% that they would have better results if they were doing it with you. But if we give everything up at front, then there's going to be no interaction with you. So just a couple things to really think about when you're making posts. Lighting is huge. I know this time of year sucks for lighting because it gets dark so early. So it's really hard to take good selfies, post-workout selfies if you're doing it first thing in the morning or later in the evening. Basically, if you're not doing it midday because it's so dark all the time. But do your best. If you're doing like a food post, put it on a white plate and try to get your lighting as best as you can. You may even have to like hold it up to the light and snap it. We just recently got these LED lights for underneath our cabinets, but you can get like little 2-packs of them. And that makes a world of difference, just having that one LED light over top of my white plate. So just little things like that. Think about your pictures as you're taking them. And then personally messaging and inviting friends through messages, text, or in person. So, you know, following the script, inviting somebody to a group. I believe this next one. Oh, it's not, this is following up, but it's pretty close. So a lot of times when I invite somebody, like this says, by the way, girl, I just wanted to reach out because to you because I know the past we had talked a little bit about the coaching opportunity, and at the time it wasn't a good fit for you. I'm opening a 5-day sneak peek to share what the coaching opportunity is all about, who we are as a team, what we do as coaches, and how we earn an income on Monday. Does this sound like something that you would enjoy being a part of with me to see if this is a good fit for you too? So in our group, Team Living Healthy and Fit, underneath the albums, there are screenshots, just like this one here, for inviting people to challenge groups. It's right from my phone. It's exactly how I talk to people. And then there's ones inviting them to the coaching opportunity. So if you follow those, then you can follow into the script, the 21-day fix script that's in the files as well. I strongly encourage you to copy and paste those into a notes or something on your phone. So if you're working on your phone or you're at work, you're not having to search all this stuff all the time. You can just copy and paste it, because literally, you guys, that's what I do, because I don't want to divulge too much information. I don't want to vomit on them like I used to. Until I started using scripts, I was nowhere near as successful as I am now. Follow the scripts. They work. There's a reason that they're there, okay? So the success is in the follow-up. So that was the second part, is following up with people that maybe said no or not right now. People aren't always ready on our terms. In fact, it's very rare that they are. They have to be ready to make changes in their life on their terms, just like you did when you started. So think about when you were first approached with this. Did you say yes the very first time? Probably not. I know for a fact that a couple of you on the phone didn't say yes the first time, because you have to wrap your head around it. Like, our head is in a totally different place than where that person is that you're approaching. So we have to remember that. In any marketing and any sales at all, it typically takes 7 to 10 touches on one person before they're ready to make that buy, to make that leap. So remember that. Keep following up with people, because you're going to be butthurt if somebody goes to somebody else and buys from them because you forgot about them, or you didn't want to follow up, or you felt like you were bothering them. If you feel like you're bothering them, say, hey girl, I don't mean to bother you. I know last time wasn't a very good time for you, but I just wanted to follow up and see if now would be a better time for you because we're getting started. That's simple. Okay. And if they say no, you say, okay, perfect. I totally understand. Do you have, is this something that you think you'd be interested in the future? And see what they say there. And then I also ask, if they say no, I'll say, okay, I totally understand it's not for you. Would you happen to know anybody that would be interested in joining me with something like this? Ask for referrals. Okay. Next. Let me scroll down here. Okay, so team up and help one another. When people sign into a challenge group, it's because when they sign up with you, it's because they chose you. They didn't choose me. They didn't choose Karina. They didn't choose Emily. They chose you, right? So this became very clear to me when we ran our 5-day clean eating last month. And absolutely nobody posted except for like a handful of girls, when there were a lot of new coaches who had people in there. And one of the new coaches said that all of her people were doing it, and they were posting, or they were texting her every day, but they were afraid to post in the group because they didn't know who I was. And I was the one leading the group. Doesn't that make perfect sense? Those people didn't say yes to me. They didn't relate to me. They're entrusting you, and they're relating to you and your story. So you need to be that leader. You need to step up and run that challenge group and not rely on me or other team members. If you pair up, that's one thing, because you're going to be an active part in that group. And then just to reiterate, if you're a newer member and it overwhelms you to start a group on your own, ask somebody to join up with you. It doesn't have to be alone. We are running a couple team groups here these next 2 months. Well, this month we just started one, and then there's another one starting on January 4th. And then I'm going back to doing my own groups and having you girls spread your wings and do your own challenge groups. Because like I just said, those people are choosing you. They aren't choosing me. Okay? Okay, so how to create a group. So how to create the group. Create your posts or the post templates in your group, and then apps that will make that life a whole lot easier. Hootsuite is free. Hootsuite's okay. It does the job. If you're not wanting to invest right away, it gets the job done. The pictures aren't as pretty because they have a little link on them and stuff like that, but I used that for a really long time, so I am not going to knock Hootsuite at all. I personally love Buffer. It's easier to use. You can copy and move it into other groups very easily and post the scheduling times. But basically, if you don't know what Buffer or Hootsuite are, they're an app that you can use to schedule posts. So I will go to my Buffer and show you, and I'm also going to show you how to create a group really quick for you newer coaches who maybe have never created a group before. Again, it's super easy, but I'm just going to go through it. Oh, I hate logging into things. I think it's just on Facebook. Hey-o. Okay, so this is what Buffer looks like. This is my Facebook. You'll see that it says all my groups over here. So this is my Facebook. And every morning, the only post that I schedule through Buffer on my personal page is my quote that goes every morning because it's first thing in the morning. So there's 26 in queue. That means I have one scheduled for the next 26 days. Okay. If we go into a group, this is our graduate group. Again, you can post, you can create your post, you can add pictures, you can add videos, you can schedule what time they go, you can make any time of day. And it just makes it easy. So what I do is, like for my group that's going on right now, it took me maybe an hour So like all those groups that all those posts that I said that are in the group in our files tab, it takes me about an hour to copy and paste those and schedule them to the times that I want into Buffer. And then your 21 days is taken care of. You don't have to worry about making those posts. I used to try and make those posts just like freelance every day, and that's exhausting. Take that 45 minutes to an hour and just schedule the whole month out. You still have to be present in that group and talk with people and engage on those posts, but at least you're the meat of the group. You know, they're asking them to post about their workout every day, your mini challenges, all of that is already scheduled for you, okay? So those are perfect for that. So that was Hootsuite, which is like hoot, like the owl, H-O-O-T, and Buffer. They both have apps for your phone as well. I have never used the Hootsuite for your phone, but Buffer I have a couple times. But honestly, I usually sit at my desktop and get that all done. Okay, so really quick here, I just want to show you how to create a group. So you just scroll down here, see where it says groups, and we're going to click more. And right here at the top, it says create a group. So you create a group. We're just going to name it test. And I'm going to add Karina. And then, okay, so from here, I usually start my group with only adding PJ because I don't want my challengers in that group seeing me put it together. So I just add him. He's in every group because he's just my go-to person. I add this to my favorites. That means it's going to show up at the top instead of trying to scroll through all the millions of groups that you're in. I can show you that in a minute. And I make it closed, okay? You don't want to make it public because then people are going to be able to see your girls' pictures and what they're talking about, and that's a no-go. People don't want them seeing their befores and all that information public. I go with closed, and I don't go secret because secret means nobody can find it. If you make it closed, people can search for certain types of groups and actually find the group that you're hosting, and they can request to join it, which is like a free referral, right? But they can't see any of the content, okay? They can see who's participating in it, but they can't see any of the content, which is what we really want to keep private, is girls, you know, challengers, I shouldn't say just girls, but challengers, we're going to skip giving an icon right now. Challengers posting things, people are vulnerable when they're first starting their journey, and not everybody wants their story out there. So it's a good way to keep everything private, but still gain referrals and have yourself out there, if you will. Okay, so then I just create, I have created a cover photo, which has how they earn points, which most of you girls have seen. We'll go to our group real quick. So in the cover photo, it's just telling them what they should be doing every single day. It lays it out. And this has been another game changer for me in my groups is laying everything out right here, how they can earn points and that there's bonus points, okay? Super easy because they're not like, well, what am I supposed to do today or whatever. They know what to do daily. Get your workout and Shakeology in. Check into the group, have fun, and take easy steps to being better than yesterday, okay? It's just giving them some guidelines. People like direction. And then in the files, I add like our clean eating meal plan that's in the group. I add some sample meal plans that I have for myself, just things like that to help them. And then the photos, I will also do, let's see. In the photos, I also create an album that has some more sample photos of meal plans from, I call it meal prep ideas. So basically it's a shopping list. It's a couple, I just screenshot these from Google. I'll just search 21-day fix meal plans. And then the cheat sheet, which we were talking about earlier, if they have to go on demand to start with, this gives you the numbers of what everything counts as, okay? But really it's that simple. And then if you're using some sort of a social media third-party tool like Buffer, when you go into your groups, you'll find the groups that you're admins of, and you can add them there. Okay. And I think the only other thing I wanted to say about groups is add a description. You can do an icon and the cover photo and all that, but it tells you, step by step what to do, but add a description and make it enticing so that when people are searching for groups to be a part of, they know what this group is, and then they can ask questions. Okay? I'm going to go back to this because I believe that's it. So the last thing I wanted to say is, if you want this bad enough, you will find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. I was listening to a six-figure earner call with Melanie Mitro yesterday, and that is what she said, and that just really stuck with me. It's true, and it's kind of like the quote that I put on Facebook yesterday. Everybody, or too busy is a myth. If you want this bad enough, you will make the time, you will find the time, and you will make sacrifices where needed. And if you don't want it that bad, then you'll allow that TV time to sink in, or to just say, okay, I did enough for the day. Okay? I'm going to stop my screen share. Do you girls have any questions? Hi, Sarah. Nice to see some new faces. Any questions at all? That was a lot of information, I know, but.
I have a question.
Okay.
When do you create your event? Like in accordance to when your group starts?
Usually 3 to 4 weeks in advance. So that way I have, because if you think about, I don't do it more than 4 weeks, because then it's almost like people are going to forget about it, and it's that much longer that you have to worry about posting in it and keeping people engaged. But you really don't want to do it shorter than 3 weeks, because then you're not giving yourself enough time to really build those relationships with people and build that trust to have them enroll into the group. So I think 3 to 4 weeks is a good timeline.
And what kind of content are you posting in there, kind of like to not, I don't know, to give them kind of a taste of things, but not really?
Yeah, so what I have been trying to post is some sort of a motivation type post, a before and after from the program. Not necessarily like the program that I'm doing right now. I'm not doing it again because it's the background noise. Okay, so I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Okay, so a motivational type post, and then a before and after, depending on what the group is. If it's a set program, or if you're just letting any program in, then just using befores and afters, and then some sort of like hook post where you're like sharing your story or sharing somebody else's specific story, or trying to throw a recipe in there every now and then, so people are seeing what kind of food they get to eat. Like, isn't everybody's false thought is that they have to eat cardboard or starve themselves or not eat anything that tastes good because they're dieting? That's what everybody thinks, you guys. When people think lose weight, what's the first thing that pops in your mind? Dieting, right? I'm going to be starving. I'm eating cardboard. I don't get to eat good food. This is not dieting. This is learning about real nutrition and real food. You absolutely get to eat good food, but a lot of people don't understand that. So sharing those types of posts too will help to kind of share what the program's all about. Maybe in like a informational post, like what kind of equipment is needed, that you don't have to have a whole home gym, stuff like that, just to give an overview of what you can accomplish and what you need to accomplish those things. Does that make sense? Yeah. Did you have another question? Because I'll unmute you, but no. I muted you. No? Okay.
Yeah, I do if nobody else has a question, but I don't want to like hog up all your time.
Well, you're fine. If somebody else has a question, they can go.
Want to know what, what do you do if you have people that have challengers kind of after a while, like they've been in the challenge group a few times, and to kind of stay connected with them, and if they've kind of fell off, like how do you I guess, keep them going or get back on track? Or what is, I guess, some of your personal message conversations with those people?
So a lot of times what I'll do is either try and get them engaging in the group again, or I'll invite them into another program. Some people get bored with the same program, so I'll and then get them into a brand new challenge group to kind of, get them excited again. Okay, they're bored and they're afraid to tell me that or whatever. They just are in a rut and they feel ashamed that they've fallen off track. I'll just say, hey, girls, ready to start this group. And even if they aren't ready to invest in another program, I'll invite them into a brand new group anyway. I might just ask that they purchase Shakeology on HD for 30 days if they're not already on it, HD all the time, so that way they are doing the program as planned.
Okay.
And I do that with people that maybe already have a program, but they're a new client to me and they want to switch to working with me. I will ask them to invest in Shakeology on HD. I remind them when auto ships just like I do everybody else. But I will ask them to do that because really it's okay to ask because you're investing 21 days of your time in that person. So it's okay to ask for them to invest back.
Okay.
Anybody else? Katie does, but I can't hear you, Katie. You have a question? No. Are you muted? Here, let me see if you're muted. I don't think that you are. No, you're not. Can you type it in the chat? You see the little chat button down below? Is that what you're doing? Is that Maddie? Hi, Maddie. How frequently do you post about starting the group? You mean on my wall, like how many times per week am I inviting into a group? Usually once, but sometimes it's 2 or 3 times. It really just depends. Usually I'm inviting into a challenge group on Monday nights because Mondays tend to be when people are like, oh, I totally just overdid it over the weekend and they feel like poop all day because they ate pizza and drank beer or whatever and their stomach's like screaming at them. So Mondays are usually a really good day, but I have actually just started, and I posted it in our team, just started following Raina. I don't remember her last name, but she's a 15-star diamond, and her post schedule is like something motivational, what you're doing right now, like whatever, it doesn't matter how boring it is, like what you're doing right now, and share that with people and who you are, a recipe, your post-workout, or some sort of a workout picture throughout the day, and then a hook post. So a hook post could be anything, like you're inviting them into a challenge group, coaching opportunity, sharing a little bit more about your story and what this has done for you, that sort of thing. So she's encourages her coaches to do 5 posts per day with that style, and you can mix them up, and I actually encourage you to mix them up because you don't want people to think they're going to see the same thing every time. And especially if you have moms who are following you, there's going to be some moms that are at home and on Facebook at different times of the day versus other moms. So as an individual, I would pay attention to when you get the most engagement. Typically from 7 to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday Sunday through Thursday is your prime time, and when most people are sitting on the couch either watching TV or doing nothing and they're scrolling Facebook, so you're going to get the most interaction, but that's not always true. So I just say kind of watch your followers, look to see when you're getting the most engagement, look to see when most people are engaging on your posts and that sort of thing, and kind of follow that rule of thumb that at least once a week you're inviting people to join you. Does that help? You're welcome. And Katie, in our files tab of the group, there's also my personal posting schedule, and that posting schedule from Raina that I was just talking about. I just added that into the group. She was on the National Wake Up Call this past Monday, so I just added that into the group, I think, yesterday. So those are both there as well, so you can kind of make a schedule for yourself. And honestly, I have it all on my phone. 5 minutes before I'm supposed to make a post, my phone dings at me so that I'm not missing a post, and it goes off 3 times a day. I take that back. It goes off twice a day because my motivation post in the morning is scheduled through Buffer. But the other 2, you know, around lunchtime, it goes off, and then again in the evening, it'll go off. And it varies. Sometimes it's at 7:30, sometimes it's at 8:30, so that I'm not posting at the same exact time every day. Okay. Anybody else?
Hey, Corey, I have a question.
Yeah.
You know, my whole phone situation at work. So I have been trying to schedule Buffer for the morning and then one like in the mid-afternoon, around 1, 2 o'clock, just a fun meme or something like that, just to get it out there. Is that okay? I mean, because I don't have any other choice than to use Buffer. And I'm waiting to get called on the carpet because I'm posting during hours. So I'm waiting for that, even though it says, people don't pay a whole lot of attention to that whole Buffer thing. So I'm waiting for somebody to say, how are you posting?
Yeah, I think that that's great. I would encourage you to make that at like 11:45 noon, because dead air after 1 o'clock until about 6:30.
Okay.
I think that you'll get more engagement if you do it. Think about when most people during the work week are going to go to lunch, when they're going to have a break, and they're going to be looking at their phone. Most people during the week, it's going to be around lunchtime. So I try to make it like 11:50 most of the time, because then it's just going into the news feeds and people are just getting off, and it's going to, you know, get people's attention then.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah. Am I doing okay with the point thing? Because, wow, I feel like I don't know if I'm doing it right or wrong. I'm like, well, as long as I'm fair across the board and I do the same thing for everybody, it'll be.
And that's all you can do. And that's all you can do. I was going to message you earlier today and say, Megan Litchfield had 2 points, but both of her posts were yesterday. So I was like, well, I'm going tonight or whatever. So
yeah, no, I still have to do that.
You're doing great.
Okay, that's up after the call.
Yeah, thank you very much for helping with that.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, girls. Any other questions? No? Okay. If you all could please keep Michelle Hiltman in your prayers for a speedy recovery. She did have surgery yesterday, so we'd just like to send her some love and hope that she heals quickly and she's feeling better. The pain meds are kind of knocking her out, so that's why she wasn't on our call tonight. But I greatly appreciate you girls who make these calls every week, who make these calls a priority. When you make these calls a priority, you are making you and your business a priority, and I admire that greatly. So thank you so much. I love you all. I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful Merry Christmas. I'm sure that I'll be talking with you through Messenger and everything else before then, but I hope that you all have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.